What's good, family? I'm Martez Kelly, and I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into the channel. We are almost at 600 subscribers. If I'm not mistaken, we are at 590. This is crazy. This is crazy. So go ahead right now, before I even get to anything, go ahead and subscribe to the video if you haven't already. Like this video as well, and turn on the notification bell. A lot of the people who have subscribed do not have your notification bell on, but this video is about why I quit being a real estate wholesaler and got my real estate license instead. So this is a controversial topic. This is something that I feel like is going to get me exposed to more wholesalers, but I can also speak from my experience. So this is going to be a great video, quick video, just to give you guys some insight on why I did what I did and how it could be better for those of you who are wholesalers to get your real estate license. And I'm just going to be speaking from my perspective and what I went through. But let's get into the intro of the video.
Hi guys, welcome to Martez Kelly's real estate channel. This is Martez Kelly, and welcome to the channel.
Alright, so if you've been on my channel for a while, you know my favorite thing is to give you guys a content layout. And how that is going to happen, how I plan to go through today's content, is the first thing we're going to talk about is what is real estate wholesaling. My channel is basically geared towards real estate agents. So I'm actually going to explain to the real estate agents who are watching this video how or what is real estate investing or real estate wholesaling and how the process works and all that. So the second thing we're going to get into is the reasons why I quit wholesaling. These are for the people who are wholesalers and are watching this video because it popped up on YouTube. I'm just going to tell you exactly why I quit wholesaling real estate. And then the last thing is going to be just combining you two together, real estate agents and wholesalers. Is basically how was the shift from being a wholesaler to a real estate agent. We'll go through all of that in great detail. And if you guys like content like this, or if you want to see more wholesale content or just different real estate content, please let me know in the comment section down below. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into telling you guys what is real estate wholesaling. For my real estate agents or people who just don't know what real estate wholesaling is, I'm going to read the definition for you. But I know you saw videos how to make money in real estate, zero down, or with little how to get into real estate investing with no money. I know you saw the TikToks, the YouTube videos, whatever it is. I know you saw them. What they are talking about is real estate wholesaling, and this is exactly how it works. So the definition here: a wholesaler contracts a home with the seller, then finds an interested party to buy it. So here's an example. And I'm actually going to give you guys, I'm going to give you this example. So basically, let's say I found a home or a seller who's willing to sell their home. They want $45,000 for it. Okay, perfect. I get the home under contract to myself for $45,000, saying that I'm going to buy your home for $45,000. I shop that contract around because the contract is assignable. I shop that contract around, find me a buyer who's willing to pay $55,000. Yeah, $55,000. So I make that spread in the middle. That's basically what real estate wholesaling is. You find a property, get it under contract for less than what you can sell it for, and you make that spread. That's real estate wholesaling. So now we're going to get into why I quit. This is basically like a story time, but I'm going to keep this story short and simple because I just want to tell you exactly why I quit. So I actually had 2 deals under contract at the same time at the title office. And I basically had to go through all kind of hoops and everything just to pull and keep the deal together. And this was way before I got my real estate license. But just to give you guys a disclaimer, I've always wanted to be a real estate agent. I actually dropped out of college to move to Florida to get my real estate license, but got scared. But we're going to get into that in a later video next week. But I actually pulled those deals together, kept them together, got the closing day, got my check, and I was just sitting there talking to my girl like, this is stressful. Like holding a deal together. I'm pretty sure being a real estate agent is exactly the same. And now that I'm here, I know that it is, and almost a little bit less stressful. Yeah, and I was like, man, almost a little bit less stressful. And I thought the process was just the same. I'm like, it's the same exact process as being a real estate agent that it is for being a real estate wholesaler. And I'm thinking I can just, you know what I'm saying, make the shift and be able to work with more people. So right then and there, that's when I made the decision to go ahead and purchase my course, go ahead and get my license and all of this stuff. And I was like, it's exactly the same. So why not just do, I wouldn't say both, but why not bring the wholesaler mentality into the real estate agent game and then take over from there. All right, so let's take that same deal, for example, from earlier, just to give you guys an example of real estate versus wholesaling. Let's take that same deal before and let's break it down as a real estate agent. So think about it like this. You have that same 45, you know that you run into that seller who's willing to sell their home for $45,000. She wants $45,000. So you say, okay, let's sign a listing agreement. I'll actually put it up at this price and we'll get it going. So in today's market, you're getting multiple offers on any property. This is an investment property, so yeah, you may not get as many, but you're still getting multiple offers. As a real estate agent, you're able to put that on the MLS and then basically leave it alone. You don't even have to shop for a buyer. Buyers actually come to you. So once you do that, you're like, okay, that buys you time back. So then you get offers come in today's market. Let's speak honestly, you get a multiple offer situation. And with that happening, you have a buyer who actually comes in and says, you know what, I really like this property. I feel like I can turn it around real quick. I'm willing to offer you $60K, closing quick, cash, everything like that. As a real estate wholesaler, you basically have to go through your buyers and see if you can find someone who's willing to buy the deal. And if you only have one buyer who's willing to buy the deal and he offers you 40, he said, you know what, I can't pay 55 for it, but I can pay 45. That's break even. You giving the seller 45, you giving him, he getting the price at 45, you get nothing in the middle. This is the wholesaler mentality right there. It's like, okay, if I do this, you get this, and you basically, we're gonna get into that later in the video. But as a real estate agent, they bid, they offer 160, closing quick. You're like, listen, you got your buyer over 15 grand, what she was asking for. And then let's say you negotiate a 10% commission, you get both sides of the deal. That's 6 grand. Yeah, it's less than 10, but you really didn't have to do much at all. And with that time, you were able to push out. And then the good thing that happened, which is something that helped me, I was able to get a buyer lead from my first listing. So I'm basically getting 2 off of 1. If you understand it, you can get the same in wholesaling, but it's just, as a real estate agent, you can actually go shopping with a home buyer, and as a real estate wholesaler, you can't do that. Now, most of you may think, well, I'm not going to say most of you, but some of the wholesalers out there, you guys may come in the comment section, so I'm going to go ahead and address you right now. These are the things that I feel like they will say. Real estate agents can only make 6%. There's no way a seller is willing to pay you 10% on a property at that price or any price at all. I am living proof that a seller is willing to pay you 10%. You just have to feel like you are worth more than the average realtor. And that I do. I feel like I put so much time and I put so much energy into my craft that I feel like I'm worth more than the average realtor. And you have to be able to present and give value for why you are. And you also have to have the courage to ask a seller and negotiate on your commission. So real estate agents don't just make 6% or half at 3%. Everything in real estate is negotiable on both sides, whether you're a wholesaler or a real estate agent. The next thing, some people may say in the comments, a real estate wholesaler can determine their pay. That is not true. You are negotiating with both the seller and the buyer. Now, in my experience, the buyer is willing to pay what the buyer is willing to pay. They're willing to go down or up maybe $2,000 to $3,000, but you're not going to get a buyer to come back and say, you know what, I can offer $5,000, $10,000 more. They're just not going to do that. More than likely, you are going back to the seller and asking the seller to drop their price. So imagine this conversation, or imagine this situation. You have a buyer, or you have a buyer who says, you know what, with that same example from before, I can't pay 55, I can pay 45. The seller wants 45. So if you are a real estate agent, you can make that happen. But as a real estate wholesaler, you make this split. So you have to go back to the seller and renegotiate your contract. Tell them, hey, we found something in the property, or I just can't pay 45, but I can give you 35 or 40, just because you're renegotiating your pay into the deal. So that's some stuff that you have to do as a wholesaler. In regards to a real estate agent, your 6% or 10% is regarding to the sale price. So whether that's below, whether that's above, no matter where it is. And even in real estate, you can actually get paid a flat fee. So if you prefer that way, if your seller is willing to pay that, you can actually be or have a flat fee. It's up to you. Everything in real estate, like I said, is negotiable. The last thing that I feel like some people would say in the comments, or I have heard, is that to be a real estate agent, you have to go through tests, you have to go through the law, you have to pay these fees, you have to do this, you have to do that, just to get your license. And to me, if you're a real estate wholesaler and you don't want to get your real estate license and become a real estate agent, in my opinion, you are just lazy. And that's just being real. You can have the best of both worlds. You can actually be a wholesaler and a real estate agent. The thing about it is, and this comes into my second point, in some states, wholesaling is illegal. So you might want to keep that in mind. So in the state of Florida, it's a gray area. So in the state of Florida, you are required to have a real estate license if you are paid for real estate services, including helping someone buy a home, helping someone sell a home, helping someone rent a home, or helping someone find a place to rent. You're supposed to be a licensed real estate agent in order to get paid for that. But the gray area in the state of Florida is that you can actually get the home under contract as yourself, say, hey, I want to buy your house, and actually sell the contract. So you're not selling the house, you're selling the contract for the home. You're selling the contract for the purchase of the home, which is the gray area. But in some states, in order for you to get a home under contract, you actually have to show the ability to pay for it yourself. So if you sign a contract for $45,000 cash, you have to have $45,000 cash, or a hard money loan, or private money loan, or some way or some form to show that you can pay for this before you can assign the contract to someone else. So please be sure to check your laws. But as a real estate agent, you don't have to worry about that at all. You have your license. You can help someone buy a home. You can help someone sell a home. You can help someone rent a home. You can help someone rent their home. You can do all of this stuff as a licensed real estate agent. And as a wholesaler, the only thing that you can actually do in Florida, that's a great area, is sell paperwork. That's it. So to the people who say they don't want to take the test, in my opinion, like I've said it before, and I'm just being real with y'all, you are being lazy. You can make double the amount in shorter the amount of time. So my situation, I was wholesaling maybe 2-3 years before. I was wholesaling with my brothers, and we made a good amount together. But apart, I only closed 2 deals. And let's say it took me 3 years to get those 2 deals. And as a real estate agent, I closed 1 deal, have 1 deal scheduled to close next week, have another deal scheduled to close in 3 weeks after that. So I have closed 3 deals in less than 6 months. Less than 6 months. And the thing about it, 6 or 7 months. And the thing about it is I'm actually part-time as well. When I was wholesaling, I was full-time. I was doing wholesaling. That's all I did. I'm part-time. I closed 3 deals. And not only, you think about, it's just 3 deals, but I'm actually working with the numbers in regards to negotiating what I feel like I'm worth. My first deal was 10%. My deal that I have closing next week, I'm double siding, so I get 6%. The next deal after that is I'm helping a buyer who came from my first close. He wanted to buy that house but was not able to, so we actually found him a home, and I'm only getting 2.5% from that. But it's still like, it's moving pretty well. And if I was full-time, I know as a real estate agent I could do double, and you can do double the amount that you are doing in your wholesaling business as a real estate agent. So in closing, like I said, how was the shift? It was a lot smoother than I expected. Obviously, you go through learning curves. It's a lot smoother than I expected. The first thing you realize, and you probably have noticed this as well as a real estate wholesaler, that real estate agents are lazy. I think they say a majority of real estate agents do work part-time, and most of the commissions that come from real estate transactions are from a small percentage of all real estate agents. So you want to keep that in mind, that as a real estate agent, if you were able to close one wholesale deal, finding the lead, getting it under contract, finding the buyer, getting the buyer under contract, taking it to the title office, closing both ends of the deal, and getting paid. If you were able to do that as a real estate wholesaler, when you take that mentality into being a real estate agent, you are going to be known as a hardworking agent. And the thing about it is, you are doing the same thing, so you'll feel like, man, this is a breeze, this is cake. So that's what I found myself doing. I'm like, listen, I can basically wholesale with a buyer with the FHA loan. So I can go find an off-market deal that qualifies for FHA and say, listen, I got my buyer, he has a budget up to 160 grand and he want to buy your house. You're like, it's an off-market deal, you got a buyer already. You just let them know, hey, he got 160 grand. Are you willing to sell your property for 160 grand? Say, yeah. All right. Are you willing to pay me 6% commission? Yeah. Cool. Bet. Next thing you know, your buyer in 160 grand, 6% off 160 grand. 160 grand, 6% is almost 10 grand. Yeah, almost 10 grand. And the thing about it is, you saying, okay, I can do this. You can wholesale with the bank's money. You can wholesale with regular buyers. And then you got that hustle to go out and find listings anyway. You can take that same prospecting that you did in your wholesaling business and put it in your real estate agent business, and you pumping it out, because real estate agents are lazy. Majority of them just get business from referrals. And that is me. At this point, I have been lazy. I just been getting majority of my deals from referrals. Yes, I'm part-time, but like I said, if someone was to come in with that wholesaler mentality, get into the game, pour their all into the game, you could explode in year one, because it's cake. You got the law behind you. You got all these different tools. So if you were reaching out to real estate agents to get comps, you can run that yourself. You got access to the MLS. Yeah, you have to pay more. Yes, you have to take a test, but all that stuff washes itself out, because you are making a whole lot more money. Another thing as well, you don't have to worry about explaining your profession to your family. So I know that's something that I had trouble with. Explaining, what is a real estate wholesaler? What do you do? I sell paperwork. As a real estate agent, you don't have to explain your profession. People know what real estate agents are and what they do. And then think about it like this. Like I said, financially, the transition was smooth as well. You making cake because you negotiate, and just like that. And it's not so much on the spread, it's all about percentage. So you're like, okay, if I can do this 10 times at this price, I'm good. And the thing about it is, think about this. You have a buyer who's pre-approved for 700 grand in regards to an investor who's only willing to spend at the most 200 grand. Think about it like that. So you have a buyer who is pre-approved for $700,000. So you can go directly to the MLS, different places like that, and say, okay, these are the properties we can go look at. Let's go look at them. We go look at those properties. You like this one? You like this one? You like this one? We put in an offer. We get on the contract. You have a buyer who can spend up to 200 grand. He's going to look at a property in regards to numbers. As a buyer with 700 grand, they're going to find something that they love. They're not really concerned about the price. And in today's market, some of them are willing to overpay for the property just so they can get what they like. So these are the things that I'm thinking about. These are the real differences between a wholesaler and a real estate agent. This is exactly why I chose this, being a real estate agent over being a real estate wholesaler. This is exactly why I quit. This is why I quit. There's not much more for me to say. I really do appreciate you guys. Please smash the like button on this video. Subscribe to the channel. For all you wholesalers or people who are considering becoming wholesalers, welcome to the channel. I'm Martez. I bring you guys the real. I don't play. I just give you the game straight how it is. I was a wholesaler. I was in your position. I do plan to bring more wholesale videos. I do talk about things in regards to how much do real estate agents make. So if you haven't seen those videos or any of my other videos, please go check those out. I really do appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. But I have to say the last thing. There's not much more for me to say, but click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch our next video.